Hi, thank you so much for joining. Today we're going to be doing a quick under 20 minute standing only series. So go ahead, find a comfortable place on your mat. Bring your hands to the heart space. Just to start to draw the attention to the breathing. If possible, you want to be breathing in through your nose and exhaling out through your nose. We'll do one more full breath cycle just to get settled. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, if the eyes were closed, blink them open. Find a comfortable stance, maybe the outside of the feet line up with the outside of the hips. We're gonna bring the arms up to shoulder level and just do tiny little circles with the arms. I know it's a standing series, but just getting a little bit of movement through the upper body, getting warmed up. Start to make the circle a little bit bigger. Maybe even a little bit bigger than that. And then slow it down, bring it back, and we'll reverse. We'll start just tiny little circles. And then they'll start to get bigger. Really stretching out through the fingertips, keeping the arms nice and long. Little bit bigger circle, and then the arms down by your side. Keeping the stance about hips distance apart if that's okay for you. If you ever need to change, of course you can, so always listen to what your body's asking for. We're gonna inhale, stretch the arms up, and as you exhale, you're gonna press the arms down, but elevate the heels. No requirement on how high you lift the heels. We're just gonna start to move with breath, so go ahead, arms come up, feet come down. Inhale, press the heels up. Exhale, press the heels down, arms in opposite direction. Starting to warm up the feet, warm up the legs, the calves, and the arms. Starting to tune in with how you can utilize your breathing to move. Let's do two more. Arms reach up. And then go ahead, press the heels up, press the arms down, keep the arms down this time, heels come down. Take the hands to the heart space, nice deep inhale, full exhale, and we'll sweep the arms up. This time we'll go ahead and come into a nice forward fold. So if you need, you can keep your knees nice and bent. If your hands don't touch the ground and you need a block, or a blanket or a chair, you can always grab onto that. And if the neck allows, you're gonna let your head hang heavy. And if your legs don't go straight, do not even worry about it. Maybe shake the head no, shake the head yes. And then slowly just roll it back up. When you reach the top, take the shoulders up and back. So you're rolling the shoulders out, up and back, trying to plug the shoulder blades down the back. This time we'll sweep the arms back up, and we'll take the left foot forward, the right foot back, coming into a warrior two. So I like to start with my hands on my hips, and I remind my right hip to come forward and my left hip to draw back. I take a look at that left knee, stacking right on top of the ankle, and then going directly forward. So you're not yawning that knee in. And then the arms can stretch. If at any point the arms are not comfortable, you can always bring hands to the heart space or hands to the hips. Really strong and steady through the back leg. We're gonna make this a little bit fluid. So as you inhale, you're gonna stretch up. And as you exhale, you're gonna press down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to press. One more. Inhale, really reach up. Exhale, press, and hold. From here, we're gonna reach forward, reach. Take that left forearm on top of the thigh. Stretch the right arm up. If the arm needs to come down, sometimes just to remind that hip to start to pull forward and stretch. One little trick I like to do with the neck is I turn my eye gaze forward and then I pull the base of my skull back. And then I'm able to turn my head a little bit easier. One more breath cycle. And we'll bring it back up. Warrior two. Stretch the leg straight, stretch the arms, and we're gonna come into a straight leg triangle. So reaching forward. So there's this idea that like you have to touch the ground with your triangle. Sometimes I'm here. Maybe you're just on your shin. You can always place your hand on the block. And then really grounding down through both feet, pressing evenly through the front foot and through the back foot. And then no crunchy shoulders. If you feel like you're crunching, go ahead and soften the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale brings you back up. Angle that left foot in a little bit. You're gonna heel toe in, and then go ahead and externally rotate both feet. Bring the hands to the heart space, and we're gonna make our way into goddess pose. So if you feel like you kind of have to rock around to get into your goddess, you can do that. I'm gonna bring my arms into a cactus. If there's a different position you prefer for your goddess, you can do that. And then just settle in. Use an inhale to get grounded. And then as you exhale, can you think about maybe lengthening the torso? We'll hold here for a couple more beats. Last breath cycle, deep inhale, full exhale, and then go ahead, stretch the legs straight, hands to the hips, angle the big toes in, soft bend in the knees, and go ahead and just forward fold. Relax the upper body here. Take the shoulders away from the ears. If you need to keep the knees bent, keep the knees bent. Maybe you can kind of rock into one hip and then the other. And then go ahead and bring the sternum forward. Hands come to the hips. Inhale brings you all the way up. This time we're going to angle the right foot out. You may have to navigate the feet a little bit. And then we'll make our way into warrior two on this side. So left hip coming forward, right hip drawing back, right knee going directly forward. And then find the position for your arms that works. You can also turn your head, eye gaze, away from the body, pull the ears back over the shoulders, and then the eye gaze over that front hand. The goal here is really to feel stable and balanced and strong. So if that means you're not going as deep, but you feel more stability, then just don't go as deep. You want to be challenging yourself, but not punishing yourself, if that makes sense. And then from here, we'll reach forward. Forearm comes to the thigh. Maybe that hand to the hip, the left hand to the hip first. Kind of settle in, twist it open. If it works for the arm, you're gonna reach up. Maybe you need that little head trick, so you'll bring the eye gaze forward, pull the ears back, and then look up. How can you use your breath here so that you can become a little bit more settled? Bring it on back up, straighten the front leg, reach forward, and then tilt any degree. If you are trying so hard to reach the ground and you look like this, it is much better for you to be up higher in your leg. So proper form always before depth. Can you make the quadriceps stronger on both legs? Can you press more firmly into the front and the back leg? And then as you exhale, maybe you twist the heart open and bring it back up. 2 feet kind of walk in a little bit. Then one more time, we'll come into a nice forward fold as you exhale. As you inhale, go ahead and elongate the chest forward. And as you exhale, forward fold. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. From here, hands come to the hips, elbow points point up. Stand it back up, 2 feet come together. Hands at the heart space. Take a nice deep inhale. Full, complete exhale. And then if you're not already there, go ahead and come to the top of your mat. We're gonna keep the weight into the left foot to start. So you're gonna bring the right knee up, about hip level. Add a soft bend in that left leg, or maybe even a bigger bend. And then we're gonna press the right leg back. Keep the right hip pulling down. Flex the right toes towards your face. And then go ahead with control, bring it back up to stand. We'll do that again. Bend the left leg if it started to straighten. Press the right leg back. Square off the hips. One more time, we'll come up. Soften the left knee. One more time, we'll press back. And then we're gonna stretch the right leg all the way back. Negotiate the feet around, left knee on top of the left ankle. Hands come to the hips to start. Square the hips here. You can always keep the hands here. Maybe you wanna lift them. Maybe you wanna bring them into a cactus. If at any point you feel too much tension in your lower back, you just bend the back knee a little bit. So whether the leg is completely straight or slightly bent, think about pressing the back of the thigh up to the ceiling. Settle in here. One more inhale. One more exhale. And then the hands will come to the heart space, hovering back over that leg. Spring off the back foot, back the way we started, and then press the foot down. Take a nice deep inhale. Take a nice full complete exhale. And we'll shift the weight to the right foot, hands to the heart space. Lift the left knee up. Soften the shoulders down. Little bend in the right leg. And then we'll press through into a variation of warrior three, but the right leg you want to keep a little bend in. Bring it back. Press it back, warrior three. Little bend in that right leg. Drop the left hip down. Flex the toes back to the face. One more time, we'll come up. As you exhale, press the leg. Make sure you're not hunching with the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades together behind you. Gently lower the back foot down. Situate your feet. If you need to negotiate around a little bit, no big deal. You want to get into the proper position first. I'm going to keep my back leg a little bit bent. My back's just not loving that straight leg right now. And then the arms can lift up. From here, can you try to start to kind of like knit the ribs together so that you're not splaying the ribs out. Inhale, find a little bit more length in the spine. As you exhale, can you get a little bit more grounded through the feet? Hands come through to the heart space, hovering over the leg with control, springing off the back, back to where we started. Press the foot down. Find a comfortable stance. Deep inhale. Full exhale. We're going to come into a standing thread the needle. So if you need something to balance, a block or a chair, you're welcome to grab one now if you want to pause the video. Otherwise, we'll start left foot. You're going to cross the right ankle directly over the thigh, just above the knee. Hands can come at the heart space, or they can reach forward for a little counterbalance. And then we'll just sit down. No requirement on how low you sit. If you were really struggling to balance, you could hold on to something right here. Or even, if you wanted to touch the ground, it just depends on your anatomy and what works for you. See if you can keep engagement in that lifted foot, pressing the hips back. Resist the urge to hunch forward with the chest. Hold here for 3. And then coming out of the pose, just as important as getting in, release. So never flinging yourself into or out of anything. Deep inhale. Full exhale. And we'll switch. Weight into the right foot. Left foot crosses. Find the place for the arms that works for you. And then you just begin to sit down. If you're feeling stretch, and it feels like enough stretch, there's really no need to go deeper. So the goal is not always more range of motion. You want to be functional, and you want to be able to keep doing this for as long as possible, or at least I do. Maybe as you exhale, you can press the hips back a little bit. Make sure you're not hunching. Sternum presses forward, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. We're here for 3 more. And slowly with control, come on out. Take a deep inhale. Take a full exhale. I'm going to come back to the top of my mat. Hands come to the heart space. Lift up that right leg. Go ahead and shift the weight. So the right foot's going to step back, a much shorter stance. You want both heels on the ground. Front foot directly forward, right foot externally rotated a little bit, but then draw the left hip back, the right hip forward. Hands can see on the hips. They can interlace, whatever you prefer. We're going to come into a back of the leg stretch. So go ahead, start to lean the chest forward, not necessarily down. Left hip pulls back, right hip pulls forward. You can stay hands on hips, utilizing your core to stay lifted here. You can also put your hands on your shin, or maybe even the thigh, or if you have 2 blocks. But resist the urge to round. If you're really bending the front leg, you've gone too far. We're here for about 3 more. And then go ahead, hands come down to the ground. If you need to bend the front leg to make that happen, go for it. We'll take an inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more time, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. And to come out of this, we're just gonna go right over to the other side. So just walk it over. Now your right foot is in front, going directly forward. Left foot is angled out slightly. Hands to the hips. Inhale, bring it up first. Get yourself squared off. Left hip forward, right hip back. Plug the elbows back. Plug the shoulder blades down. And then with a really nice long back. If possible, try to keep the eye gaze down so that your neck is not like crunched up. Think about from your lower back to the crown of your head. I mean, I know there's curvature in there, but can you keep it in as straight a line as possible? Continue to draw the right hip back, the left hip forward, sternum presses forward, and then on your next exhale, allow the hands to come down. Take an inhale, lift and lengthen. Take an exhale, fold. One more time, lift and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Walk it back to the middle. Angle your big toes in just slightly. Let your forehead, really your whole head, hang heavy. And then slowly roll it up. When you reach the top, find a comfortable stance for your feet. Bring the hands to the heart space. Thanks for joining. This is just a real quick and easy way to get warmed up, to wake up the legs, to get some strength, and then also a little bit of stretch. So I appreciate you being here.